Alright, what is up everybody? We are going to do a gun review. And I will throw it out there right now. It is unloaded, first and foremost. And we're going to follow that up with a couple other comments. One, I've done this video multiple times. The first time I did it, I had the gun broke down in its carrying case, tried to put it together on video. It was just taking up too much time. Second time I went off on tangents talking about how the hunts were this year. The Hunt Expo, a bunch of other things. Video got too long, really didn't get into the gun. So I did a third video, thought everything went pretty well, uploaded it, and it had no sound. Came out, found that my microphone was not plugged all the way in. It was plugged in far enough that it was trying to record through the microphone instead of the camera, but not far enough for the microphone to actually record. So we're doing this whole video over, which means there's going to be a lot of things that I have to remember to say in this one that I've said in the others. The next thing we're going to say is we're going to set some standards here for expectations. I am not a big shotgun guy. I have a 1100 LT 20 gauge that my grandfather bought when I was born. I have a 870 pump that I won at a company Christmas party. Those are the only two main shotguns I have. I have a Rossi 20 gauge youth break action that I don't shoot because it's just mean. I don't like it. So I don't shoot it. I shoot the 870 and I shoot the 1100 quite a bit. That is what I was hunting ducks with this year. And part of this is I did not hunt upland game hardly at all before this year, and I've never hunted waterfowl before this year. This year the kids wanted to do it. We got into it. It turned into a opportunity to hunt a private ranch for birds. They stock pheasants, and we got the opportunity to hunt that quite a few times this year for free by ourselves. We spent quite a bit of time out there, which turned into kind of a really we all really enjoyed it and started getting more serious about it, and it led me into wanting to try something else. The 1100, I love the gun because of what it represents. It was a gun my grandpa bought. My grandpa was big into upland game and waterfowl and passed before I really had those chances to go with him. The 870 is an okay gun, but both guns have gave me trouble this year. The 1100 wasn't cycling all the time, and unfortunately I'm just not a very good shot with that gun. I don't know what it is. There's a YouTube called Target Focus Life, and he really, if you want to know about shotguns, how to be a better shooter, any reviews, he is amazing for that stuff. But he talks a lot about a shotgun fitting you. I didn't know what fit me, what didn't. I think the 1100 doesn't fit me. After using this gun, I think that's the biggest problem. The 870 started having cycling issues. In fact, the extractor got filled with ice while we were duck hunting and turned into a single shot. And a pain in the ass single shot, because I wasn't able to get shells out, so I was like taking my knife. And point being, I started thinking about an over-under. Sure, you're limited to 2 shots instead of 3 with waterfowl, but way less mechanical moving parts and a lot faster than a pump. And quite honestly, the problems I was having with the 20 gauge not cycling from time to time, and it only being a 20 gauge, I was really looking heavily at over under 12 gauges. This gun, I walked into Sportsman's. It's CZ Woodcock G2. I hope I've said that before now. Again, I'm working on multiple videos here. It is only available at Sportsman's. We walked into Sportsman's. I saw it sitting there. It was not a gun I had watched reviews on, checked on. I had not even heard of this gun before we walked in. And I saw it sitting there, and I thought, hey, can I see that gun? Because the price on this gun is like sub $700. I don't remember exactly what it is, but for what it is, compared to all the other guns out there, I was extremely interested. Guy handed me the gun. I loved the way it felt. I love the way it looks. It has ejectors instead of extractors, which was something I wanted for waterfowl hunting. I didn't want to be fumbling around with big gloves, trying to pull shells and load shells. And a big thing was I didn't want to spend $2,000 on an over-under that I was scared to take out in the marsh, on the river, whatever. Because I'm hard on stuff. I really am, and I know it. It's what I think makes me good at doing gear reviews, is because I'm really good at breaking things. I had to send a Henry back this year that I broke already. Like third time I took my Henry out, I broke it. So I'm good at breaking things. But I tried this gun out. I liked everything about it other than the fiber optic bead. I wasn't a really big fan of that, solely because in my mind it should be a brass bead. Fiber optic pins belong on bows, right? Like compounds. It just threw me off to have fiber optic, but I was like, man, I really like it. I'm really interested. I said, I'll, try to get some money saved up. I went home, and my wife, after work the next day, drove over, bought it, and gave it to me for Christmas. I had no clue. So I got it for Christmas. I had to work Christmas, and I think a couple days after Christmas, I went on days off, and I actually got to take it out and go hunting. And I love this gun. I have just clicked with this gun so good. I was hitting everything I pointed it at. The first 2 birds I missed was because 2 ducks went in opposite directions. They came up out of the water and went this way from each other. And I just, instead of focusing on one, I tried to swing on one and swing on the other, and just I threw my own shot off. But I killed everything else I shot at, and I'd never even took it out for skeet. So again, I really like this gun. But let's just get into some quick features, and remember that we've already talked about it. My level of shotgunning is not a professional level experience, right? So take all of this with that in mind. So we'll start at the butt and go to the tip, because I can. One thing I was worried about was this very thin butt pad. This gun does not kick, in my opinion. I've been shooting 2 3/4 Boss bismuth out of it. I did shoot 3-inch steel just to try, and I just don't feel like this gun kicks like even the 870. Just kicks way harder than this. I think a lot of it has to do with those double barrels and the balance of this gun. But it is a smooth shooting gun, and I love it. The checkering here is not overly aggressive, but I mean, you can feel it. It's pretty decent. While we're on that, I feel like this side is not nearly as aggressive on the forehand. I feel like you've got a lot more here than here. However, I haven't had any issues. And again, it's been out duck hunting and chasing pheasants all in, late December, early January, mid-January weather. This was not out in dry, nice, beautiful, late September weather. And I haven't had problems, but like I said, it's not super aggressive. We are going to talk about this real quick. So this here safety, hopefully you can see it. Your safety you can only choose the barrel when it's in safe. You cannot choose that safe. You cannot choose your barrel when you have it in fire. I don't know if that's normal for over-unders. It's not something I even thought to look into until I had this gun. The safety is really easy to run. It's very clean, crisp. It's not hard to move. The barrel selector is kind of odd because it has a 1 dot on one side, 2 on the other side. I didn't know what that meant. I really couldn't find in the owner's manual, so I just stepped out. We live on 10 acres. We have our ponds right off the hill down here where we were hunting ducks. But I just walked out, flipped it to the 1, shot, popped the barrels open, and looked to see which side fired. So again, I don't know if only being able to choose that would matter to anyone. I haven't had any issues. Been running a full choke and a modified. I think vice versa. I think full's on the bottom, modified's on the top. But I had it so if a duck, came into the decoys, if a pheasant flushed up close, I was shooting with a modified up close, so I wasn't just obliterating the birds, because what I found was this gun and I were getting along so good, we did obliterate some birds. I actually had shot a bird, had opened the gun up, and loaded another one, and as I clicked the gunshot, another pheasant came up, and I actually shot it from the hip and shot the bird in like half. So again, getting along with this gun great, but the modified and full, I had an idea, a purpose in my mind for it, if a duck comes into the decoys and I shoot and miss with the modified and he starts getting out there, I'm now shooting at him with a full, which was another thing I thought was cool about the over-under idea. One thing I will definitely mention is this right here, to break this action open. It's loosened up a lot in the 100+ shots I've taken with this gun. When I got it, it was extremely hard to open and close. Even now, I would bet my wife would have trouble running this, and like my kids could not run this. So if you're looking at this gun as a possible starter, youth, spouse getting into it gun, keep that in mind. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I would rather have it tight than a bunch of slop here, but it is something to keep in mind if, again, you're looking for a youth, a spouse, someone smaller. At first I could not operate it. Like, I had to get after it. So I sat here, so I got it for Christmas. I shot it that night just here at the property, and that night I sat here and just opened and closed it for, I don't know, 20-30 minutes, just trying to smooth things out, get it moving. Again, I struggled to put the gun together in the beginning. That just might be me. I might get better at it. As far as the trigger, again, we are empty. We've shown that. As far as the trigger, it is a nice clean trigger. It's not overly light, but there's your 2 clicks. I think it's lighter than my 870. Now, one thing that I really liked about this gun is it has ejectors, not extractors. However, what I'm showing right now is it has not ejected, and I had problems with this first time we went out. You can open it to there just fine, and it will not actually eject. You have to actually cam it over just a touch to get those ejectors to kick in. It's just the way it's designed. You can actually watch the mechanism as you do it, and it will only eject when you've shot, which is nice. So when you're opening it, you're not accidentally launching both shells if you've only shot one. But again, what I found is, at first I was opening it and I was only going to there, and it wasn't ejecting, and I was getting kind of upset because one of the big things that won me over was the fact it had ejectors. But again, you can kind of see on that mechanism that little cam over right there. Again, just mentioning that. Trigger, I like the trigger. It's a little stiff to break open. I have no problems with the safety. Forend, again, is not overly aggressive. This is where the release is, to release the forend to break the gun down. I will say that every once in a while will catch my hand. I don't know if they just should have tapered it in a little more, smoothed it out. It's not a lot, and again, for a sub $700 gun, I'm not going to complain about it all that much. Just something to mention. Every once in a while, even right there, I just felt it. It's catching on my hand just a little. Not a big deal for what it is. Fiber optic bead, again, I really can't complain. Not having any issues with it. It's just odd to me. This gun swings so nice for me, is balanced so well that, in all honesty, I don't see myself even looking at the bead that often. I kind of just know where this gun is. Like, from the beginning, it just meshed so well that I don't even use that bead a ton. Now, so that's, again, going over the whole gun. Super simple to break down, harder to get put back together, but it did come with a case, and my kid stepped on it, the dog stepped on it, and nothing happened to the gun. The case has really nice hard polymer buckles, but they have a really good solid engagement. They're actually, like, you can't flex them. Like, they're pretty tough. The hinges are actual metal hinges. They pop when you close it. The first time I closed it, I thought I broke something. It's just a metal hinge, and then you've got nice soft, like, sock for it, the barrels in the forend to go into, the stock to go into. Kind of trying to rush because I know it's getting dark. Came with an owner's manual. You've got 5 chokes and a choke wrench in here. There's a little slot where the silica gel was already in there, so I left it. And then there was an extra little slot that turns out my axle electronic ear protection fits in there perfectly. Well, not perfectly, it takes a little squish, but it fits good. So it's actually really nice. I just grabbed this. I've got everything I need to take out with me when we take the gun. The case, again, is super nice. Good solid latches on it. It's protected the gun great. Overall, for this gun, again, sub $700 gun. I don't know of really anything bad to say for the cost, how the gun has treated me. Again, I've only ran maybe 150 rounds through it, but we've killed, I don't know, 20, 30 birds with it already. You know, took some follow-up shots, took just some shots at, like, first day, every gun I've ever bought, I've shot the day I bought it, except for like one rifle that I had to wait like 2 days to shoot. Well, I didn't have a scope on it. I was gonna wait for a scope, and then I felt like wrong that I hadn't shot the gun the day I got it, so I shot it the second day without a scope just to do it. But like, I walked out here and shot 5-6 rounds through it at a dead tree out here just to be able to shoot it the first day I had it. But again, I really enjoy this gun. So far I don't really have anything bad to say about it. Really, if you're looking for an over-under, it is only 3-inch shell. It is not rated for 3.5-inch shell. But I personally don't have a need for that. My 870 isn't rated for 3.5 either, and like I said, I've been shooting 2 3/4 out of it and just taking everything out of the air, no problem with this gun. So yeah, it is a little heavy due to the double barrel, but I think that's what really helps with the kick, helps with the swing. I really enjoy this gun. So hopefully I hit everything I wanted to hit. Again, just a very good looking, hardened, blued case. Yeah, a very clean looking, nice gun. Hopefully that's everything. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I had a GoPro I got forever ago and never used it. I found it, dug it out, was going to take it, if we go do any hunts, take it out and actually try to get some video with this gun. They've had some clients out on that ranch, so we haven't been able to go out there the last little bit, and we've just been busy. So anyways, yeah, there you go. There's the gun review, and if you guys have any questions, let me know. Hopefully the audio worked this time, because I probably don't want to do this over again. And I've got 3 or 4 other videos that apparently I need to redo because the audio didn't work on any of them. It was like that for a couple of weeks before I finally uploaded a video and realized how bad I screwed up. So got quite a few videos to redo, but you guys have a good one, and I'll talk to you later.